Welcome. This is Jane Gardner, and welcome to Solopreneur Success Strategies. Today is Mindset Monday, and today we're still continuing on with our Mindset of the Entrepreneur. Today we're going to be talking about patience, so let's be patient and have a review of what we've been talking about so far. But for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jane Gardner. I work with my husband in our structural engineering firm, Monday to Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Home-based business. We work every day of the week and midnight. So in Western Canada, and I'd like to say that we certainly need our mindset on Monday because it's always a busy day. So I'm doing this on Sunday so I can replay this for you on Monday. So welcome. Today we're going to be talking about patience, and I'll go through the various things that we're going to be doing. But first, I want to say that I'm setting up office hours. If you have any struggles in your business and you want some help or you want to just talk about it, I have set up an office time Thursday to Sunday to chat. I have an appointment scheduler that's at http://jgtips.com/chat. So come and chat with me about your business. I'd love to hear about it. But today, let's go on and talk about your Mindset Monday and the mindset of the entrepreneur. Well, we've already had a look at various options, but let's first, I guess I better go through them all for those of you on the podcast. This is all about we've already talked about having a positive attitude. We've talked about passion. We've talked about being an action taker. We've talked about embracing the change. For action taking, we had about 5 or 6 episodes, so it's worth going back to either my YouTube channel at jgtips.com/YouTube, or you can find me on iTunes at jgtips.itunes. Might get you there. And you can listen to some of the previous episodes on action taking, and then embracing the change, being willing to change, being persistent, relentless, and determined, and being willing to take failure as feedback rather than failure as failure. And we talked about the big why, the big picture, and the reason why you are here being an entrepreneur. And today it's all about being patient. Even though we're an action taker, we are patient and evaluate the situation before we go running off to do more. And then there's willingness to learn we'll be talking about, and the willingness to listen and share with others. So those are some of the traits of the mindset of the entrepreneur. But as I always feel, imperfect action is better than no action. So just remember to always be trying to keep in action, but always testing and evaluating is the motto for today. Test, test, test. I should have put that down. So we've looked at positive attitude, we've looked at passion, action taking, embracing the change, being persistent, taking failure as feedback, and we looked at the big why last week, which is always big. And today we're going to be looking at patience as a trait of the mindset of an entrepreneur. Now, as my mother used to say, act in haste and repent at leisure. So it is always good to be able to be patient and evaluate just a tiny bit before you take an action, just in case you are going to act in haste. So for example, let's have a story. What shall we do? How about bright, shiny objects? There is a addiction on the internet called bright, shiny objects. When you're an entrepreneur, you get very distracted sometimes by bright, shiny objects. The newest trend, the newest software, the newest tool, the newest traffic, the newest. Someone always has the newest, always has an innovation, and we get distracted and we go wandering off and act in haste, rather than evaluating and deciding, is this for our business? So we'll be looking at some of the ways that we can stop from doing that and be patient. So, some of the ways that you can be patient is to take a step back and evaluate. The next time that you feel frustrated over a delay or other situation in your business, just try taking a step back, taking a deep breath, and look at the issue from a different angle. If you find that you're just having trouble getting something done, just ask yourself, well, really, did I have too high of an expectation to expect that I'd write that book in a day? Or, for example, and maybe it is realistic to say, oh, maybe I can write that book in a week. So always remember that we always have high expectations, and take a step back and evaluate and decide whether you have been putting expectations on yourself that are maybe out of control. Stewing over the circumstances isn't helpful to anyone. All it does is get you stressed out. So focusing on finding a solution helps your brain change gears. So instead of feeling the stress of the failure or the stress of losing out or the stress of not receiving the information you needed in time or having the failure of your internet go down while you're trying to do a show, which happened last week to me, take a breath and change gear and decide what kind of solution can you do in order to stop that situation from happening again, so that it makes you feel less stressed, because your health is important to you, as is your blood pressure. So it's always easier to remain patient when you believe that a resolution is on the horizon. So always be optimistic. Obstacles come in many forms, from physical circumstances that prevent us from moving forward to intangible circumstances and things that happen that we don't expect. External influences that can cause delays. External influences where suddenly something that you depended on doesn't exist anymore happens quite a bit on the internet. Lots of companies go out of business. So regardless of the circumstances, try looking at all aspects of the situation. Be patient. Find a solution by stepping back. It helps you get past the obstacle by stepping back and thinking about what might be the solution for this issue. So focus on what you have achieved. So when you have got a situation and you're realizing that you have to be patient, focus on what you've achieved so far. What small step have you done in terms of moving forward? Many of us are naturally beginning to feel impatient if we're making slow progress towards our goals. Rather than thinking about what you haven't accomplished so far and getting all stressed and how far you have to go, focus on the progress that you have already made. For example, I have made 100 shows. Yay! Of solopreneur success strategies. And for those of you who want to go back and listen to them, you can do that on YouTube at jgtips.com/YouTube or jgtips.com iTunes. I have a link. So there you go. There's an ad. Maintain your motivation and build your patience. That's always important, by celebrating your small victories as you work towards the fulfillment of your goal. So, of course, yes, you do have to have goals, but you have to be patient because it takes longer than you think. I think we've all learned that by now. Take a few deep breaths when you find yourself feeling anxious about your slow progress. Gentle exercises that focus on stretching and breathing, such as yoga and meditation, can also help you to relieve your stress, to remain calm and patient as you work towards a goal. Not sure what that goal is. Sorry, for those of you on the podcast. Looks like they're in the Arctic and they've got umbrellas. Well, that's not much point in having umbrellas in the Arctic. Anyway, onwards. 3, set realistic expectations. Very important. Sometimes we become impatient with ourselves. Oh, really? and others because we have unrealistic expectations. I think that's the human nature, that we always have unrealistic expectations. I think that's what makes us achieve more, by having unrealistic expectations. But anyway, try and have realistic expectations. So the next time you start to stress over a delay or another obstacle, try to be more flexible and realize progress is always small steps at a time. So be flexible with your schedule and expectations. Consider a range of results or behaviors that would be acceptable to you. So, for example, I'm thinking of maybe doing a few more shows, finishing this off, and I find that to be acceptable to me, rather than doing years and years of this stuff. But anyway, that's another story. It's not about being patient. So 4, identify your triggers. What are the triggers for you, which are different from other people, as to how you start to feel anxious and start to not be patient? So identify the triggers and develop a plan to remain calm. For example, I have been told that if this goes down, my internet goes down, my Hangout goes down, all I have to do is refresh and it will come back up again. I hope so, because I don't want to do this all over again. So, for example, that's my plan to remain calm, is to keep an eye out on my broadcast. So everyone has certain triggers, people, places, or things that start to make them feel anxious and impatient, makes them feel stressed. Figure out your most common triggers and think of ways that would help you successfully cope with them. Laughter. There we go. Number 5, the most important. Laughter is the best medicine. I should have put a joke in here somewhere. Learn to laugh a little at little delays and the frustrations of being in business. In the end, we always know these are going to happen, so you have to make up a joke about some aspect of the issue, and then you chuckle. Oh, sorry. Your stress will melt away. So build your patience. These are 4 strategies in order to build your patience and have the mindset of the entrepreneur, so that you can survive the stress and challenges of being an entrepreneur. Reduce your stress by having beautiful pictures on your computer. Sorry, got distracted. And pick your battles wisely. That's right, for sure. Some things are just not worth the hassle. So just remember that to have a strategy for when things get rough, when something doesn't show up, when your internet goes down, right when you're about to webinar, or when the product you're expecting doesn't show up in time, take a deep breath and realize it's called life. Maintain your self-control, because in the end, it's your health that you're looking after by being patient, having strategies to keep calm, and also building your patience so that you can learn how to deal with the stress of being an entrepreneur. So patience is a virtue. It is also actually very much, let's go back to building your patience. It's also very much important for you to be patient and not rush off to do a new product or a new offer or a new whatever without first evaluating and assessing whether or not that would probably be something that you should go forward with doing. So that's another reason that you should be patient as an entrepreneur. It is important that you're an action taker, but you should also be patient and be able to evaluate and test and assess whether something you're doing is worth doing your time. And next week, I will have a thing about learning how to deal with your success in business, and how you can learn how to learn about business without getting overwhelmed. But that's for another day. So build your patience, reduce your stress, pick your battles wisely, and maintain your self-control will get you closer to the goal. So, in order to develop your success mindset, I have a free ebook at jgtips.com/SMINDSET, which is S Mindset, where you can learn some of the strategies to have a successful mindset, learn how to be calm, learn how to train your brain for success. You can also subscribe to the Solopreneur Success Strategies channel at my YouTube at jgtips.com/YouTube under Solopreneur Success Strategies. Just look for Mindset Monday. And I'll just go over again. If you're having struggles in your business and you'd like to get some feedback from someone who's been in home business for 20 years, I've set up some office time Thursday to Sunday, and I have my appointment scheduler at jgtips.com/chat, and you're welcome to book some time with me to chat, and we can talk over Skype, and it can be private, of course. So that's me. That's the Mindset Monday. Mindset Monday is very popular with everyone. So it shows you that mindset is the most important value of your business. So please remember to keep training your brain to be calm, be patient, and know some of the strategies to be able to remain stress-free when you're an entrepreneur. So thank you for listening, and please subscribe, comment, or like my YouTube channel, or come over to the website at jane-gardner.com. Get your S Mindset, develop your success mindset ebook, and subscribe to connect with me and get some more on mindset, because we all love mindset. So thank you for listening. This is Jane Gardner at jane-gardner.com/programs. You can check out my programs, and I'll talk to you next week.